Grandpa Ben and I were bosom buddies, or as he liked to call us, the tightest peas in the pod. I was Squirt to his Papa Bear. There could not have been a better pair of arms to scoop me up at the bottom of the playground slide or bear hug me from behind when I raced around the living room. He laughed like Santa, which I could imitate. Burped very inappropriately, which I won't imitate, and always when my dad wasn't listening. And he let me eat s'mores for breakfast if I gave him a double raspberry on his cheek. He could quote Shakespeare and the Bible and every line from Casablanca. He never beat me at one game of chess, not one single game, although he himself was crowned the senior chess champion of his community center 7 years in a row. Grandpa Ben and I would sit up in the treehouse for hours, drawing treasure maps and counting all the clouds that floated by and hiding from fire-breathing dragons. He once let me miss the school bus so we could watch a robin building her nest. And he picked me up early from extra help one fall afternoon so we could catch blue claw crabs on the bay. My favorite color was yellow. His, the entire upper left quadrant of the Crayola box. I always dreamed of meeting Barbra Streisand and Elvis Presley. Grandpa Ben thought that Einstein and Moses would have made for great coffee shop companions. On Sundays, when we played Scrabble, Grandpa Ben never failed to make up words and then try to convince me that they were actually in the dictionary. His favorite was Foosala, Foosala, 10 points, an endearing term for passing gas. When I took my bow during our middle school production of The Sound of Music, he yelled, "Encore!" so loud that it echoed off the auditorium room walls. And afterwards, he was so mad at the director because my name was not mentioned for Broadway stardom. No one believed in me more than him, and when my progress reports began listing my talkativeness as a problem, Grandpa Ben assured me that someday they would be seen as my gift. You can see why I was not 1 ounce prepared when this incredible man and his booming voice began to fade. Within weeks, he and it became a whisper. Our dinner conversation one Sunday was brutally quick and too brutally honest for a 12-year-old girl whose grandfather was her hero. Grandpa Ben was dying and did not have very long to live. My comrade for all things magical and amazing was gone within a few weeks. I sat alone in the treehouse every day after school. Only Grandpa Ben could console me, and he was the one I needed consoling about. Everyone around me, with hearts all in the right places, encouraged me to talk about my feelings. I didn't want to, because no one could understand what I was going through, except my grandpa. I knew how much he must be missing me too, so my heart ached for both of us. On a sad morning, months later, a young girl ran past our driveway. Her puppy, a gift from her grandma, had run away from home, and her whole family was out searching for him. I offered to help. "What's his name?" I asked the young girl. "Squirt," she said quietly. That night, I had a dream about Grandpa Ben and me. We were sitting up in the treehouse eating grape popsicles with our legs dangling over the sides. "Papa Bear, when you die, I'm coming with you, otherwise How will I know where you are? That's easy peasy, Squirt. I'm wherever you are. I will never take my eyes off of you. I leaned over and I gave his cheek 2 raspberries. He yelled, "Encore!" And I did it again and again and again and again. We giggled until I was completely out of giggle tears. I fell asleep in his massive arms. In the morning, I awoke full of the best kind of happy. It turned to dread when I realized that Grandpa Ben had only been a dream. Later that day, my sister yelled at me for leaving a mess up in the treehouse. "Next time you and your friends eat popsicles, don't let them melt all over the place. Now it is sticky everywhere." From that second on, I never ever wondered again if Grandpa Ben was where he promised he would always be, watching over me. He had sent me a message loud and clear. I didn't need any special skill to interpret it. Grandpa Ben's picture with me and my dad sits proudly on my writing desk. It turns out that the man who championed my chattiness and gave my voice wings was rather small in stature, though I had only seen a giant. When I go up in the treehouse now and I breathe deeply, I can still smell the grape. If I close my eyes tight enough and I open my heart wide enough, Squirt and Papa Bear are hanging out together as always, the tightest peas in the pod.